Hello.
And welcome to
The Nick.
The Jake
And
the
the Movies.
Hey, that was a good one.
Yeah.
All right, episode 7.
Revenge of the Fallen.
I was going to go A New Hope again.
Again?
Or A New Hope, second verse, same as the first.
I don't think we ever actually did A New Hope.
No, we didn't.
So
A New Hope.
this is Revenge of the Fallen, A New Hope again.
Okay, I like that. That works for me.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I would have watched that movie as well.
Yeah.
Weird Transformers, Star Wars crossover.
Fuck this podcast. Let's make that movie instead.
We're going to have to get a lot of licensing.
Nah.
And, special effects artists.
Nah.
I'll be Optimus Prime. We'll make like a cardboard
No, we'll call him
outfit.
Optimus Prime. And no one can sue us.
Okay, so what are we doing for like outfits?
Cardboard boxes.
Cardboard?
Spray painted.
I was thinking go one step
You
farther.
ever see Be Kind Rewind?
No.
I was going to say we could do with that.
Well, we still give us time. We're going to go watch
Do
a
you
movie.
know what Be Kind Rewind is about?
No.
It's Jack Black and I want to say Chris Tucker.
Okay.
I could totally be wrong. They work in a video store shop, and all their movies get erased by like some kid with a magnet or something.
Okay.
So they take it upon themselves to re-record versions of movies, like as themselves, like low budget.
I
shit.
love that.
And they do like RoboCop, and he's like in a cardboard box and shit like that. Funny.
I hope it's Chris Tucker. That sounds like an amazing combination.
Yeah, I forget who.
It better be. If it's not, I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna be very upset.
I don't think it's Chris Tucker. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, now I'm already upset. You've ruined my day.
What'd you do this week, Nick?
Got my day ruined. I watched a lot of movies. I watched the Planet of the Apes prequel trilogy, which we'll talk about later. I watched Bridge on the River Kwai, which we will also talk about later. But that's a great war movie. Well, and like right up there with The Great Escape as like they're both technically war movies because they're set during a war, but they're not really about the war.
It was not Chris Tucker. It was Yassine Bey.
Not interested.
He is from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and The Italian Job, the Marky Mark one. Continue.
I still might watch it, but I'm very disappointed that it's not Chris Tucker. But anyway, yeah, no, that's a great war movie because it's one of those up there with The Great Escape. It's barely about the war, huh?
Obi-Wan's in
Obi-Wan,
it, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Obi-Wan's in it, and he's like 20 years before he's actually Obi-Wan, so he's like 50.
Yeah.
Or 40 or however, but he's great. He's like just plays a British bastard.
Nice.
It's fantastic. Like
Very cool.
Army colonel, and he's very like very much like the basically they get to this camp that they were told to surrender to, and it's like a Japanese like run military
Is it connected
camp.
to a bridge on the River Kwai?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's
Disappointed.
you won't be.
Okay.
Continue.
Continue.
No, you've got me. No. And basically the general I think it is Colonel Saito is just like, hey, everybody here, you're going to be working to build a bridge on the River Kwai. So it will be connected.
Oh, so there will be a bridge, but there's no bridge yet.
There's no bridge yet. I'm sorry, buddy.
That's okay.
But we'll get to a bridge.
I love movies about making bridges.
Do you?
I don't know.
Well, I love this one.
Okay.
Because it's it basically like Colonel Saito doesn't want to listen to Geneva Convention rules.
Sure.
He's like, everybody's going to work on this bridge no matter who you are. And Alec Guinness is like, I think not. And he's like
even his own soldiers are working on it?
A lot of his own people are.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But
fair is fair.
Yeah, not everybody, but he's got a few of his own men working on it and like constructing it and figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
And basically he's got all the British troops, and Alec Guinness is like, well, the officers won't because it's against the law.
Uh-huh.
You'd be breaking war laws. And he's just like, I don't care. And he's like, well, my officers aren't going to do it. So he throws them in the hot box.
The hot box.
Yeah. literally just
a metal box.
A metal box, yeah. And he throws all of his officers into a bigger one.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
man, that must suck.
it's real cramped as well. When you see how many people are in there when they finally let him out, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But basically, like, he's due to like honor of what he believes in.
Uh-huh.
Once he lets Alec Guinness back out, he's like, I need you all to do this, because if I don't have this bridge done by May 12th, I'm bound by honor to kill myself.
Oh, really?
So I
Shit.
need to get this going.
Yeah.
And Alec Guinness, well, like he thinks about it for a while, and then he's like, you know what? If we're gonna build this bridge, we're gonna build the best damn bridge.
Wait, so they kind of like join together?
Alec Guinness does. There's a whole nother like plot going on about one guy who's there like as soon as the movie starts. Like he's been there for like probably a year, and he escapes, and he's finally like gone, and he's seen nothing but death there, and he ends up I believe somewhere in Britain. He's an American soldier. And you find out that he was actually like impersonating an officer. He wasn't one, but he was part of the army. He was just a grunt.
Okay.
But he thought he'd get better treatment. Yeah, irony.
Big brain.
Yeah.
Honestly, I respect it.
Yeah, but think about where he ended up, where they make the officers work anyway.
Shit sucks.
So yeah, it didn't matter. Well, when he
high risk, high reward.
When he explained that to a British officer, he's just like, "There's always the unexpected." But basically, the British officer is just like, well, we need you because we're going to go in there and blow up the bridge. And the guy's just like, I'm not going back there. And they're like, no, you're going back there. He's like, no. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, but your army already like handed you over to us.
Yeah, he's kind of a traitor at that point,
yeah.
right?
Well, he's a hero because he escaped this big camp and like,
sure.
Yeah.
But he was doing like stuff against the army at the same time.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like they brings that up, and that's when he reveals that he's just like, I'm not an officer.
Uh-huh.
You want an officer? I'm not one.
That's funny.
And then the guy's just like, yeah, well, here's your paperwork stating that you're an officer.
Uh-huh.
And he's just like, we've known about that for quite a while.
Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. And then he's just like, no, no, you can't do this to me.
Why me?
Exactly. It's really great. Like, so he's forced to go back there and to blow up the bridge. And there's a great like turn for like Alec Guinness because he's very much like, well, my people need food and water, and like the officers will not work, and my sick will not work, kind of thing. But he kind of, when he becomes obsessed with the bridge, he has his officers work, and he justifies it by saying, well, they volunteered. And he even sees who out of the sick wants to volunteer. Like, he ends up going completely back on everything he fought for just to get this done.
But he's not, like, forcing anyone to do it, right? It's all volunteership?
No, but it is very much like, it starts to get to the point. It doesn't get too bad.
It's like a guilt thing?
Yeah, a little bit. It starts to get to the point where he's just like, well, he can stand. Why isn't he doing that?
Sure,
you know,
sure.
He gets half of the people who are sick just to do light work around the place.
Okay.
When the medical officer is just like, they really shouldn't.
What year is this?
This is during, I believe it's World War II.
I mean, what year was the movie
was
released?
it made? 57.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really solid. It's a great moment with Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
Like when the bridge is complete. He's put up a sign saying like British soldiers made this bridge. And he's just kind of staring off at the sunset. And he's talking about like basically why he did what he did, why he built this bridge. Like the idea that once you die, there might be no proof that you ever existed and things like that. And he says that alone to his enemy, basically Saito, on this bridge.
Yeah.
It's a really great moment. Yeah, and then the bridge blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know about the bridge blowing up.
Yeah, which didn't have, like, a lot of that apparently did happen. The bridge didn't blow up in real life.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah.
We need some
We needed Alec
explosions.
Guinness.
Yeah.
Where was he? Well, actually, that's the thing is Alec Guinness almost ruins them blowing up the bridge.
Oh,
when you
really?
realize what happens, yeah.
Okay.
But then he sees the American soldier who just got shot like twice.
Ooh.
And he's just like slowly crawling towards like
The detonator.
The detonator. And he's just like, it's really like you wouldn't see it in a movie today.
Sure.
His death was really unceremonious.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's Alec Guinness realizing who this man is going, you. And the man just crawling towards the detonator and looking up at Alec Guinness and very painfully going, you.
Ooh.
And not even angrily, just like he's dying.
And that's the American who we saw before?
Yeah, it's the
Wow,
American
that's
who made it back
cool.
here. Yeah, and eventually Al Guinness, realizing what he's done, blows up the bridge himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he die in the process?
He does, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Everybody, like all the main characters except for the medic, like the head medic, die.
That fucking sucks. Your general is like, "Hey, do the bridge stuff," and then he just blows it up. And they're like, "What the fuck, my fucking bridge?"
It's really the thing is, like, it's a really hard hitting ending.
Yeah,
because that's when I realized, like, no, this movie is seriously anti-war, and because throughout the entire movie, I'm like, this movie's fun.
sure.
Like, there's a lot of fun moments.
It sounds kind of jovial.
Yeah, and like the British soldiers will often whistle like doo 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 throughout the entire movie.
Uh-huh.
It's great, but like then the ending is really serious.
Yeah.
Almost out of nowhere. Like there are serious moments sprinkled throughout it, but like very serious compared to like it's not like Great Escape fun, which also has a similar thing where like a lot of it is fun. Like, oh, how are they gonna get out? And then they get out, and then there's a crazy moment where one character's like, we really did it. We did it. And then a bunch of them just get shot.
Oh, Christ.
It's just out of nowhere. And
that's awesome.
It's great, yeah. That movie's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, that's a movie you should watch. It's John Sturgis's, like, best.
Great Escape?
Yeah.
I'll get it on Criterion.
Yeah, will you?
Yeah.
I got it as part of a Steve McQueen Blu-ray collection.
Nice.
It came with
Nice.
Magnificent Seven and a couple other things. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that. What else did I do? I started rewatching Ip Man.
Nice.
Because I'm going to get the Bruce Lee collection in from the Criterion collection, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
Because there are like multiple versions of every movie, and like literally one of the special features is another movie.
That's so cool.
That's crazy, yeah. What did you do this week?
Well, for me this week, I actually watched a lot of stuff.
I watched a lot.
It was
too.
a big week for both of us, I guess. Well, first of all, I will hit on that I finished up not Split, Glass with you.
Yes. Yeah.
And it wasn't great.
No.
It was not good.
I saw your Letterboxd review. You actually give it less stars than I thought you were going to.
Really?
Yeah, I expected like a 2.5 to a 3.
Yeah, I gave it a 2. I thought my review was pretty good.
No, it's fair. You didn't say anything I disagreed with.
Other than that, okay, so I watched Split. Yeah, that's a fine movie, I guess. Pretty low on my
I like Split.
M. Night list. What day is it today? Today is the 17th. So we last talked on, it would be Tuesday and then a week ago.
Yeah.
So it would be like, what,
a week
4
and a
days?
half ago.
Yeah, so it was before the Criterion sale.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know about you, but I owned Criterion before, but I never, I didn't know the culture behind Criterion. Did you?
Bits. I know, a lot of people hold it like too high of a regard, maybe.
Too high?
Yeah. It's important. It's all like important film.
Sure, yeah.
And that's why I love it. I collect them because I like film history.
Yep.
You know. But I don't know a lot about it.
Well, most, if not all, of the Wes Anderson movies I have on DVD are actually Criterion, and I kind of knew about it, and I was like, oh yeah, Criterion's like a thing. But then since becoming a pretentious film Twitter snob, I saw a bunch of stuff about how Criterion does a sale starting twice a year. I think one in June or July, I should say, one in July and one in November, and everything is 50% off at Barnes and Noble.
It's crazy.
Yeah, which is awesome because most of the time they're $40 for a Blu-ray. So $20, which is insane. Yeah. And then box sets like $200, $100, which is fucking awesome. And then there's people who go and buy them all.
Yeah.
Before anyone can get to them.
I usually have to order them.
Yeah. So I ordered. We both ordered some stuff online.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered Eraserhead on Blu-ray, Mulholland Drive on DVD, and Grand Budapest on DVD. And the only reasons why I got those two on DVD is because everything was selling out wicked quick.
Yeah. Everything went by really, really quickly. And unfortunate. There are a lot of things I want to grab.
Yeah, there are a lot of things I wanted to grab too. But I have an aversion to DVD, as I feel like most people who collect things do.
Probably, yeah.
Like DVD is totally fine, but like Blu-ray is just it's just that little bit of thing in your brain that goes, this is better.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I was gonna buy Fire Walk with Me, but that sold out as well. But then later on, me and you went to our local mall.
Yeah, we found a copy of it on Criterion.
I found a Criterion Blu-ray of it, so I snagged that. And then I actually went later on in the week and I found a Criterion section in FYE. They actually have a section.
That's crazy.
And we were searching for it, and there was like 4 things.
Ah, okay.
So I got the 2-disc set of Royal Tenenbaums as a DVD. I thought I didn't have that already. I already do.
Nice.
So now I just have the slim version and the big beefy version. I got Jim Jarmusch. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Jarmusch, yeah, Jim Jarmusch. Thank you. Jim Jarmusch's. It came with his first movie, Permanent Vacation, but it's the box for Stranger Than Paradise.
Nice.
Which I ended up watching, which is a very good movie. And I also got Hard Day's Night, the Beatles movie, the first ever one.
I've never seen it. I've heard it's fantastic.
Blu-ray, DVD. Yeah, it was a lot of fun actually. I liked it. It was pop stars doing their thing.
It's a Beatles movie.
Yeah, it was a Beatles movie. And I got one more thing. I got Monsieur Hulot's Vacation, which is an old French movie from the 50s.
Remade by National Lampoons later with Chevy Chase.
Really?
No. Very different movie.
If you said yes, I would totally believe you.
I had you. No, National Lampoons is just a comedy.
Yeah. So other than that, I watched both Hard Day's Night and Stranger Than Paradise. Hard Day's Night was really good. I gave that 3.5, and Stranger Than Paradise was really good. I gave that 4 stars. Nice. I both have reviews on those on my Letterboxd. But the big thing I want to talk about my week was last time we were on the podcast, I talked about how I was finishing up season 2 of Twin Peaks.
Yes.
So I finished season 2 of Twin Peaks, and I'm doing this all with a rewatch with my girlfriend because she hadn't finished anything. Mm-hmm. I rewatched season 2 with her. Then we watched 14 episodes of The Return before I was like, okay, we need to stop and we need to watch Fire Walk with me before we continue. So we watched 14.
Yeah, you're just somebody says, Bobby killed a guy, and she's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. And so all the time during The Return, so many amazing moments watching it with her, like reliving how I felt when I first watched them. Like when at the very beginning, I think episode 2 is when we see like James and Shelley at the Roadhouse and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's like musical performances. And at like episode 2 or something, she goes, wouldn't it be funny if like James and Donna showed up and they were just playing Just You at the Roadhouse? And I was like, haha, yeah. That would be funny, wouldn't it? And then like episode 13 or 14 happens, and the announcer goes, please welcome James Hurley. And I look at her face and she's just like jaw on the floor, and it starts Just You. And she starts laughing so hard she almost falls off the bed.
I hated it.
It was amazing.
I hate it so much.
I loved it. I love it so much. It's so fucking bad. David knows it's bad. He's gotta know it's bad.
But that doesn't mean he has to show it to me.
Yes, he does. He's got to know. This is what you wanted. See? Twin Peaks season 3.
But it's not what I didn't know this was a thing. You filmed it before I knew about Twin Peaks, David. You know.
Okay. So we watched Fire Walk with Me, and there's really fucking amazing moments in that. Such a good, sad movie.
Oh,
Such a hard movie to watch at moments. Bobby killed a guy.
Yep.
Other than that, then we finished up The Return.
Nice.
We watched 16-17 one night, and then yesterday night, I want to say, we watched 17-18.
Yeah.
And 17 happened, and she was all like, yeah, okay, this is awesome. And then 18 happened.
Yep. 17 is a great episode of television because it gives you everything that you didn't know you wanted, and then it takes it all away from you in episode 18.
Yes. So then we watched 18. Cooper goes, what year is this? Carrie Page screams. The lights turn out. Cuts to that still image. Well, no, it's not a still image. It's a slow motion video of Cooper in the red room with Laura whispering in his ear. And the credits roll. And she turns to me and goes, wait, that's it? And I'm just like, what did you expect?
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
And then I was just like, so what did it all mean? what did Twin Peaks mean? And she was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It means something.
It doesn't mean anything. It's whatever David Lynch wanted it to be when he made it.
But I want to talk about that because I watched the 4.5-hour video of someone
did you?
explaining Twin Peaks.
Ugh.
It was amazing. It was honestly like fucking every single point he made was amazing. And I loved every single point he made. I'm not saying he's right.
Yeah.
Because it's just his interpretation. But the amount of it's like literally like a PhD, like what's the word for it? Master's degree thesis, like
okay.
video. Like literally, so much work went into it, and so much thought and interpretation. It's amazing. It's honestly amazing. I just put it on sometimes just to listen to him talk about it.
Okay.
The only thing I think isn't great about it is he does a bad Gordon Cole impression every time he reads a Lynch quote.
Nice. Of course he does.
Yeah, no.
Only we do good David Lynch impressions.
That's right, Nick.
I'm not doing mine.
Oregon.
What'd you call me? Oh, Buckhorn.
I love the part in The Return where Albert goes and sees Diane for the first time, and he comes back to the FBI's like headquarters, and Gordon Cole is like, "What'd she say, Albert?" And then Albert's like, "She told me to fuck off," or something like that. And Albert's like, "I need you to come talk to her." And Gordon Cole is like, "Will you come with me?" And then Albert's like, "Say please." And Gordon Cole's like, "What?" And then Albert's like, "You know what I said." And he's just like, "Okay." Gordon Cole is such a shit.
I know. He's probably my favorite character in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, definitely.
He's great.
It's funny that it's David Lynch then, if he's your favorite character.
Well, you know what? Like on a scale of how good of a person he is, I did give him a 10.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
He's a better actor than maybe a creator. No, that's not true.
No. He's a good actor,
He's
though.
a fine actor. He's a better comedic actor than anything else.
Yeah, he's really funny.
But when the pin drops, like when somebody walks away, like the new person he has with him, I forgot her, Tammy. Yeah, she walks away, and then suddenly he and Albert are very, very serious.
Sure, yeah,
it's a great moment. Like they talked about that at the Emmys apparently that year.
Really,
like that one scene, yeah.
Okay,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know what it would have been like for. I don't really watch the Emmys, but apparently it got brought up.
I'm trying to remember, because I was rooting for them to win stuff. Like, I don't think it won anything really big.
No, I don't think so
which is sad.
either.
But thankfully, in the world of Twin Peaks, it won everything.
I'm sure it won everything. Like things it wasn't nominated for.
But no, yeah.
It won Best Animated Feature.
Yes, exactly. I highly recommend, if you're a Twin Peaks fan and you like diving deep into like theories and lore, I highly recommend watching that video. Even if you don't like you're not a person who likes to listen to other people's theories.
I do. I just have to have my own concrete theory down beforehand. Otherwise, like other people's will like muddle mine.
Yeah.
You know, but
write up a 3-page paper about what your theory is.
You've almost convinced me to. Like I thought about that.
I kind of want to tell you what his thesis statement is, but it kind of ruins the whole thing.
Does it?
Because he's basically what he says in the beginning is, this is spoilers if you haven't watched Twin Peaks. Also, if you're a Twin Peaks expert, this will spoil Twin Peaks for you.
Ah, okay.
This will ruin Twin Peaks for you in a way that you will never be able to look at it the same way again.
Okay.
And it's completely done that to me.
Ah.
And I love it. It's kind of great.
That's you almost had me, and then you've scared me away.
No. It's not a scary thing at all. It's almost beautiful the way he puts everything, and then the ending is he says, I have to explain everything before I explain everything.
Okay.
Which is amazing. And at the very end, he like comes to his thesis statement, and it's like literally like 7 words, and it sums up Twin Peaks perfectly.
Okay.
And I could say it right now, but I feel like it would just spoil the experience for you.
Okay.
So
I might check it out.
I highly, highly, highly recommend that for you. But basically, that's all I did for my week, other than no, yeah, that's it.
You just watched a 5-hour video like 20 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, it was great.
All right. So that brings us-
Monkeys.
monkeys.
You heard of them?
No.
You ever watch them?
No.
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 Okay.
Well, if I haven't heard of them, I wouldn't know if I'd have watched them, would I?
Well, let me explain to you what a monkey is.
Okay.
Nick. A monkey is a slight against God's creation.
Okay.
And evolution is a lie.
And we're talking about them?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right, because we're talking
I'm not
about
going to
apes.
talk about monkeys.
We're not going to talk about monkeys at all. You're correct, because we're talking about apes.
Correct.
Yeah, I dove back in and rewatched all of them, all the prequels, not all the originals, although I was tempted, because I love those fucking movies, even though each one gets worse, like of the originals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
like
about to say.
Planet of the Apes 1 through 5, yeah.
I like Beneath a lot.
I love Beneath. Beneath is
But
probably
it's definitely not as good as the first one.
first one's more classic. I think I enjoy Beneath more.
I'm surprised that the first one is not on Criterion.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
I'm
very
shocked
surprised.
about that.
Yeah.
It's one of the most known science fiction movies ever.
Yeah.
Rod Serling wrote the screenplay. Also, written. The book was written by Pierre Boulle, who wrote Bridge Over the River Kwai.
Oh,
You would-
right. You
yeah.
wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, which is great. Well, that comes in later as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I rewatched all of the originals, and Rise of the Planet of the Apes is so good. Like, I was rewatching it, like, oh yeah, I remember loving everything.
Yeah, man.
Like that was another movie, like one of the few that could make me tear up.
Did you see all those in theaters? Because I think I saw them all in theaters.
I only saw War in theaters, yeah,
Okay.
and I was very hungover.
When did we see War? When was that?
We saw
Was that after the night? The weekend.
that was during the week.
Oh my God.
That was during the week. We had us and
Are you going to explain the history?
Yes,
of
a little bit.
Okay.
The history of Twin Peaks done by
This will be a 4.5 hour long podcast from here on out.
me and you and our friend Jesse had rewatched all of the original ones.
Yes.
Well, for me it was rewatched.
Sure.
For all of you, it was like
I
watching
feel like
over
I
the
might
first
have
one.
seen the first one, but
Yeah,
a long time
maybe.
ago. Yeah.
Which was great because Jesse views himself as uncultured. And
Sure,
hasn't he says that all the time. He's like, I see myself as uncultured.
He's
and
cultured in other ways.
I think he is. He doesn't give himself enough credit. But
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting him up there.
Yeah, sure.
With movies. He'll be an expert
All
by
we
the
need to
time
do
I'm
is
done.
make him get a letterboxed, and he's on his way.
No, and so I show him, like I said before, I use Jesse for movie experiments.
Yeah.
But in Planet of the Apes, he didn't know what the twist was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was great. You don't remember this, do you? We got to the ending, and it is that shot where like Charlton Heston looks like really scared at the very end, and Jesse's like, "What?" and then the camera goes around behind this thing, and all we see is spikes. And Jesse's like, what if it was the Statue of Liberty?
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, and then he literally said something around the lines of like, I know it's not, but and then it shows it, and then he's like, wait, what? And yeah, and there it was, and he's just like, no.
Holy fuck. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
That's fucking awesome.
It was a great moment. It's one of the moments where I was like, I'm glad I'm friends with him. like, this is great. I never get to have this
I'm
with
gonna
anyone.
use him forever.
Yeah, that was a shining moment. Like I had a light bulb above my head. Like you and me are going places.
You're all right, kid.
But I watched a lot of the special features for Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Nice.
There is so much done, like detail-wise, for the
Uh-huh.
apes. Like they built them, like they built the skeletons first for all the animation,
Yeah.
like all their movements, and then they built layers of muscle over that, and then fur. So they just all their movements look full and like purposeful, and that's great. But everything's motion captured, right? Which means somewhere, someone has footage of James Franco walking around Andy Serkis on a leash. somebody has that. It's somewhere, and I want to see it.
I feel like Andy Serkis has that in a vault, and he's not letting anyone see it.
I bet you he watches it.
Yeah,
He's
sometimes.
just like, I miss my days as Caesar. And also, like, a lot of people give James Franco shit for, like, being very dead-eyed.
He's good in that movie.
I think he's fine in that movie. I think he was exhausted because he had to redo almost every single take with Andy Serkis and then without Andy Serkis at a wall.
Okay.
And you can see that on him, but I think it works for the character because the character feels tired.
Yeah.
You know, and
he's literally like a scientist dedicating his life to this research of this drug.
And it's ruining his life.
Yeah.
Like,
and his dad has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Like he's fucking tired, man.
I think it works very well. Like for what I mean, he phones in a lot of performances, I think, but I think he's great in that. I think it works perfectly. And
he can turn on a performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's great. And John Lithgow is also fantastic.
So good.
I love John Lithgow, and he's just he's perfect in that. I still want to see like Daddy's Home 2. I haven't even seen.
You know what? I've seen it.
Yeah,
it's good.
Is it? I haven't seen
No. Let me rescind that comment.
John Lithgow's good.
John Lithgow's good.
Will Ferrell
is fine, but them two together,
isn't that great?
Or like John Lithgow and Mel Gibson like interacting is really funny. There's that one moment. It's in the trailer of Mel Gibson coming down like the stairs at like the airport. And Mark Wahlberg's like, oh, my fucking dad. And he's like, what's up, son? And like smacks him on the back or something like that. Whereas John Lithgow comes down the thing, they see each other and they're like, dad. And he's like, son. And they run to each other and they kiss on the lips for like 2 seconds. And it's fucking hilarious. Like, if anything, that's worth like a viewing. Just seeing them like interact.
I want to just because the casting seemed perfect. I had no interest in the first Daddy's Home.
I haven't
whatsoever.
John Cena's in Daddy's Home too.
He's in the second one? That's funny. But like just when I saw the trailer, we saw the trailer for the first time together in a theater.
Did we?
Yeah. And we were both like, what is this? This is
What movie were we seeing? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't tell you. Well, probably a Marvel movie.
Yeah, probably.
I think it was Captain Marvel.
Oh shit! Really?
I think so.
I feel like I saw Captain Marvel. No, I did. I did watch it with you, but I watched it beforehand.
I saw it way late. In theaters. But no, I want to see it just based off of that casting because Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson seem perfect. I think the only way they could have made that any better was instead of Mel Gibson, Al Pacino.
Oh my god!
I think that would have worked great.
That'd be pretty good.
But no, I want to see it based off of that alone. But anyway, John Lithgow.
Back to apes.
He's great as a man with Alzheimer's.
Yes, he is.
It's great that he named Caesar based off of literally reading the book.
Yeah.
Or the play.
He wasn't eating a salad?
No, he wasn't.
I remember it wrong.
The entire revolution and changing of a hierarchy of species wasn't based off of a salad. I'm sorry
Apparently
to say.
Created in Mexico. Little salad fact for you.
Oh, you weren't talking about apes?
No.
Oh.
Apes were not created in Mexico, Nick.
Anyway. Everyone in it I think is great. I'm like you like with this movie when it like you are with the John Wick movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it starts I'm a little sympathetic towards humans. But by the end, I'm like, get him!
Yeah, fuck those humans.
Take what's yours!
Exactly.
And
Take the jungle back!
And it's great. Like, I'm rooting for him all the way.
Yeah.
At this point, like, the only like human character I care about is James Franco.
Yeah, exactly.
And you never even see him die in the trilogy.
No.
He dies off screen.
Yeah, it's implied that he died from the virus, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, he was one of the early patients.
Which is another thing that's relevant now.
That's true.
There's a global virus in the movie.
Yeah, and they talk about quarantines.
Yep.
In the sequel, and that movie was on my mind so much, and the fact that James Franco isn't in it, that I literally had a dream where I was watching the movie Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, but they had worked in James Franco.
Oh, that'd be kind of nice.
It would have been interesting. Yeah. I mean, there's homage to him.
Yeah.
Is
there like a picture or a videotape?
There are a lot of pictures.
Okay, yeah.
But Caesar in Dawn is like when they find his old home, he's in the attic where he used to sleep, and he's watching an old video.
Right.
And it is James Franco teaching Caesar how to sign the words home, which is very sad for that moment. But it's a really good. It sucks because I was hoping for like a flashback to like something we haven't seen with like John Lithgow and James Franco.
Like new footage?
Yeah. With like in War, because they used lines that John Lithgow says like in the trailer for War for the Planet of the Apes.
Really?
Yeah, they use like lines from the first one.
Okay.
That he and use it as voiceover for like a shot of a mountain.
I see.
Like something about he's extraordinary and things like that. I was really hoping for some sort of flashback, but it works without it. War for the Planet of the Apes is very much like almost disconnected narratively. Like it like each one feels like it is of its like a whole series, but each one feels more like a sequel to the last one.
Sure.
Like going from Rise of the Planet of the Apes to War has almost no like similar plot threads.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think that's down to the production too.
Yeah.
Because the first one was not directed by Matt Reeves, correct?
No,
Who
it's
was
the only
it?
one that wasn't. I don't remember his name.
Okay.
But it had. Yeah, actually, I don't remember. He hadn't worked on a lot of other things, but it wasn't him.
Mm-hmm.
I think they went with Matt Reeves because Matt Reeves is probably was he just off of Cloverfield?
Maybe I'll look it up. While we talk about it.
Yeah, because that movie, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, is probably the best one of the three. I think War is my favorite. But
I think Dawn is the best one as well.
Yeah, but I think it's the best made. It's just brilliantly crafted because a lot of it is cliche, but you get away with it by having it done in a new way. Like a lot of the argument at the end between Caesar and Koba, like your brother to human.
Yeah, you're sympathetic. Yeah.
Exactly. Those are all lines that have been said before in like thousands of other things, but he simplified it and made it like this, and it was just perfectly done.
Yeah.
You know.
So Matt Reeves directed Let Me In.
Ooh, I love Let Me In.
2010. I haven't seen it. I think I started watching the
original.
Is it French?
I believe it's Swedish.
Swedish. Okay, and Swedish. And then in 2014 he did Dawn. So there's a 4-year gap of him like
taking a
he
break.
might have been doing like producing something or writing something.
Maybe doing TV.
Yeah, doing TV or something like that. But
okay.
Yeah.
No, I like Let Me In. But no, so yeah, he wouldn't because Rise wasn't even made yet. So maybe the other guy wanted more money or.
Yeah. Oh, I should have looked up who.
Yeah, you should.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway, Rise is good, but
yeah,
it gets. That was as I was gonna say.
It's a good start.
It's a great start. Yeah. It's there are so many moments taken from the very original movie, and like I wouldn't have even noticed. Like at first, like it feels like its own thing. But there's so much imagery that is taken from the original one. Like our main character stuck in a cage when we know he shouldn't be, and being sprayed by a huge water hose.
Yeah.
And stealing a knife off of like one of his captors when he has the chance to. There's a lot of the first time either of them speak after a long period. It's with Charlton Heston, it's like that famous line, "Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape."
Yeah.
That's the first time he talks in a while because he got shot in the neck.
Right, yeah, so he was like bruised up.
And the first time Caesar speaks is when somebody says that to him.
Doesn't he say like no or something?
Yeah, he says no.
Yeah.
There's a great in the Blu-ray for War for the Planet of the Apes.
How do you feel about that line? It was Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
Tom Felton, I think his name is. Does he say "Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty"?
Yeah,
ape?
but it works.
You think so?
I
remember hearing.
I always, but that's because every time we watched it, I would make fun of him. I'd literally go, "Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!" But it's not how he sounds.
Poor guy.
It's fine because the build-up after that of him about to say no,
it's solid.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's fantastic, and the horror on Draco Malfoy's face is just.
I totally
as good.
just named the actor's name, and you're just like, yeah, Draco Malfoy.
It's Draco Malfoy to me. No, Tom Felton.
Tom Felton,
right?
yes.
It's great. Like he looks truly horrified.
Yeah, totally.
But
his death is fucked.
It's
too.
really crazy.
Yeah.
And it is a defining moment for Caesar as well.
Yeah.
Because he does that and then he just locks away the guy who was nice to him.
Yeah.
You know, it's great. And Caesar's great. And a funny thing about the music, like when he's that point where he's trying to get the trust of all the monkeys, he already beat the crap out of Rocket, so he's leading, but he's just trying to get their trust. And when he first escapes, he gives Rocket a bag of cookies and has like them all, like Rocket throw one into each cell.
Right.
There's like very specific music they made for that. And the composer for the music, he just got it in his head. And there's like this small little like melody. I don't know if they ended up keeping the sung version, but like the melody it has, you can barely hear. It's like, and he got that from. He just got it stuck in his head. I got a cookie for you. I got a cookie for you.
That's what Rocket's thinking.
Yeah, I think it is exactly what Rocket is thinking.
They become like really good friends after, right?
Yes.
Rocket and Caesar.
Oh, yep. Because Rocket's in all of them, and he's one of the people who accompanies him in War. It's great. War is perfect. I think that's like a near perfect movie for me.
I remember seeing. You never explained what the week we were talking about.
Oh, what?
When.
Oh yeah. Okay. So when we saw War for the Planet of the Apes,
you only talked about because we watched all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in the middle watching all of them.
Yes.
We had watched the 2 prequels as well.
This
like
was summer
Rise
of
and Dawn.
2017. I want to say
2017 or 18. I think it was 17. Yeah. And it was the week of 4th of July. And we had gotten trash drunk every single night of that week.
Like literally cocked every single night.
Every night. So we were very hungover when we went to see War
I
for
think
the
that was
Planet
when
of
I
the
had the worst hangover of my life.
Well,
we went to that diner. Do you remember?
Oh, yes.
And I had to sit on the outside because I need to if I needed to throw up, I needed to like sprint out and run to the bathroom.
And here's the funny thing about that. Because we watched it, we went back, we were all super hungover.
Yeah.
We threw on the documentary for Planet of the Apes just to finish it up, which is called Behind the Planet of the Apes, which I always thought was funny. And about 36 minutes into it, you get a text.
Yeah.
And you're like, they want to drink again. Are we going? And we all groan, and we're all like, yeah. Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, that was like a whole week of us just drinking like Natty Ice.
Mm-hmm.
You drank a warm beer. You drank your morning beer.
Yo,
I
don't want to talk
2 p.m.
about 2 p.m.
You don't want to talk about the morning beer.
Yeah. I'll never be able to get rid of that.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
It was a time. But yeah, no, that's when we saw War, and I'm glad that I got the collection like as soon as it came out because I wanted to rewatch War because through my hungover gaze, there was a lot of great moments in that.
Yeah,
like,
I remember loving it.
It's I love like even the references to Beneath, like you remember how Beneath ends
with the atomic bomb going off.
Yeah, going off. The name of that bomb was the Alpha Omega bomb.
Okay.
The name of Woody Harrelson's troops are the Alpha Omega soldiers.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like he wanted because they had the like they were fanatical about the bomb in the movie. He wanted the soldiers to be fanatical about themselves, about like the group, the unit. And that's how Matt Reeves kind of constructed it.
Sure.
That like that movie I love. I love it in the same scale that I would put Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on because both of them made me go back and watch movies that I wouldn't have otherwise. Because without War for the Planet of the Apes, I wouldn't have watched Apocalypse Now. Because the Colonel character is based off of Marlon Brando.
Sure.
In that movie. It's very different. It's his own thing. But like that's like the presence that they kind of wanted. And I also watched, like I was talking about, Bridge Over the River Kwai. That is based off of a little bit the relationship between the Colonel and Caesar is the same as Alec Guinness and Saito, at least at first.
Right.
Colonel and Caesar continue to like truly hate each other, and so do Saito and Alec Guinness. But it's like Caesar doesn't get like obsessed with his work, but the Colonel also needs something built. He needs them to build him a wall.
Right.
Because
there's another American troop coming, right?
He was seen as too radical. Because he kills off anybody with the secondary version of the virus.
Okay.
And
those are people who are fine, right? They don't infect anyone?
They do infect other people.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't think they did when I first saw the movie. I thought what it was like they had the virus initially from the first 2 movies, and everybody alive were survivors. But there's a second strain of the virus.
Oh, it mutated. Okay,
yeah,
I see.
That like has been also going around, and he gets it from the little girl, Nova.
Yeah.
Because she leaves her doll in Caesar's cage, and he finds it. And the next time Caesar comes across him, he can't talk.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, which sets up.
That moment where.
No, I was just gonna say it sets up why humans can't speak.
Yeah,
in the original trilogy.
In the original, yeah.
Or not trilogy, series.
Series, yeah. And by the way, a 4th one is in development right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like
under Disney, and it is a 4th like
of the
yeah, it's a sequel to
Okay.
the Rise trilogy.
Rise trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. I was going to say the Matt Reeves movies, but
Yeah.
it's not really Matt Reeves movies.
He was going to make the
Yeah.
fourth one, but I think with the whole Disney Fox merger, it
Yeah,
got
he's working on Batman now too,
Yeah.
and Batman's going to take another like fucking year to
Yeah,
make.
he's
which-
probably fine. He told the story he wanted to tell.
yeah, exactly,
know.
and he did it beautifully.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's great. The ending's great. That also, like, you don't
Mhm.
need a fourth movie. It leads fine into the original because where they end up is exactly where the first one kicks off.
Yeah,
Like, it's the same lake that Charlton Heston will land in
yeah,
years later. Now, what I want to see is why they have to leave, because that becomes the Forbidden Zone.
sure.
You
Oh,
know.
I didn't even think about that.
And in the original one,
Well, isn't it the Forbidden Zone because the bomb is there?
what Dr. Zayas said was the Forbidden Zone was a paradise until the humans blew it up.
I see.
And they refer to this area as paradise when they,
Ooh.
you know, and it is the same area where like it stops. I mean, Matt Reeves was pretty clear in saying that it's technically a different universe. But I really hope that one day they lead right into a remake, like a good remake,
Yeah, man.
like off of that continuity.
I'd be so fucking stoked to watch a remake of the first Planet of the
yeah,
Apes.
one that wasn't made by Tim Burton.
Wow. Yeah. Should we talk about the Tim Burton one?
A little bit, yeah, we can. I
the
don't-
makeup is kind of good.
The makeup's great. The
Yeah.
prosthetics are fantastic
Yeah.
for that movie.
I like the twist at the end. The monkey Abraham Lincoln.
That
is
I love
really
that twist.
Funny.
Well, here that's closer to the original. That's closer to the original book.
Okay.
Although the original book has an even like
Bleaker ending.
yeah, kind of.
Okay.
It's bleak and then it's almost morally ambiguous. It starts with these two space explorers,
Right.
and they find a literal message in in a bottle floating in space. And they grab it and they read it, and it's this one man's journey who was also a space explorer, and how he found his way to a monkey planet. But it's not like primitive like it is in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's all bamboo structures, but they're full buildings like we have.
Yeah,
there's
sure.
there's helicopters and things like that.
Wait, made out of bamboo?
Yeah.
Wait, there's helicopters made out of bamboo?
Yep.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. One thing I'm going to pick up is recently there was a comic book made of Rod Serling's original script,
Oh,
which was
wow.
all of that, but
Okay.
it has Charlton Heston.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I've seen the art for it; it looks great, and I really want to pick it up. But what happens is, like, basically he finds a way off the planet,
Uh-huh.
and he sets coordinates to get back to Earth, I believe. And when he gets back there, he's at the Eiffel Tower,
Right.
which would be the equivalent because Pierre Boulle is French.
Sure,
So
yeah.
it's like they kind of
Eiffel
took that
Tower,
idea,
Statue of Liberty.
yeah, kind
Yeah.
of thing. And so he sees the Eiffel Tower and he lands. He's like, yes, and then he is greeted by a ape on like a scooter to get there.
Sure,
and that's when
yeah.
he realizes, oh, this was Earth all along.
Yep.
And then it cuts back to the two people reading this note, and they're like, they choose not to believe it. Pretty much, yeah.
Whoa.
It's
That's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, that's a book that
I feel like that's some like Lovecraft shit.
yeah, it was
Learning
funny.
knowledge and then choosing to not believe
Yeah,
it just
exactly.
to keep your sanity.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair. He actually, when they approached him to make the original movie, he's like, "Why?" He's like, "That's like my worst book."
That's funny.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it ended up being. I'm not surprised it'd be Rod Serling to be like, "There's something here."
Yeah,
You
sure.
know?
He can like spin something.
He's the man of twists.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know, he was the go-to guy if you wanted that in your movie. Well, he more did, Twilight Zone.
Yeah, sure.
He died young. He was like 56.
That's a bummer, man.
Yeah.
There's a really funny story that Alec Baldwin tells about Rod Serling.
Really?
That it was a young Alec Baldwin, and he's on like a pier somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and he sees Rod Serling like walking towards him, like just 'cause like just people are walking by and stuff, and Alec Baldwin comes up and goes, you're Rod Serling. Can I have an autograph? And Rod Serling goes, yeah, sure. Wait a minute.
Oh, you told me about
and
this.
then he just walks away,
Yeah.
and that's it.
He just poor guy.
He's like,
Oh.
wait here a minute. And then he just leaves.
I'll be back. That's so awful to do to a child.
What a twist. His greatest
You think
twist.
Alec Baldwin was sitting there like, what a genius.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. This is not what I expected.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so funny because the first one is predicated off of a huge twist.
Yes.
And then, like, you get to War, and it's a very straightforward movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There wouldn't
I feel
be a
like Dawn
twist.
is even more straightforward.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, like, all of that, a lot of stuff in Dawn and War has all been done before.
Yeah.
It's just, like, through this new perspective of rather than, like, it is still like a growing empire.
Yeah.
But it's just not humans. It's a completely new take on it, which makes it work.
Yeah, and I think revisiting the Planet the Apes franchise is a really smart idea to take those into account just based on the technology we have today. Because Rise looked good. Like, the apes looked good in Rise, but once you get to Dawn, it's like photo real.
It's great.
It's fucking insane.
War is incredibly
Even better,
realistic, yeah. They talked about when they first made the first one.
Mm-hmm.
They thought, like, their first thought was to use real monkeys, real apes. I'm sorry. They wanted to use real apes, but then they realized that, like, that's kind of counterproductive to the point that the movie was making.
Yes.
To use, so they were like, you know what, we'll push for this.
Yeah.
And that movie broke ground for motion capture.
Totally.
That was the first movie to film motion capture outside.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
for
awesome.
the bridge scene, yeah.
Right.
And all of it, like, all of them jumping on cars and shit, that's all the actors, like, all of them, like, actually hopping
with those
on cars.
Weird crutches.
It's
they
great,
use,
yeah. Rocket, the guy who plays Rocket, was the guy who had to lead them because he's been doing stuff like that before.
Oh, cool.
So and he was very enthusic on the special features. He
I bet.
clearly loves what he's doing. And how happy he is.
He's like, it's finally my time.
Exactly. Like, I've been waiting years for this. My weird pogo activity. Or pretend to be an ape.
Here's a question for you. This always comes up whenever people talk about Andy Serkis in a motion capture role. Is it acting?
Oh, yeah.
And well, yes, I agree. But should it be alongside those nominated for acting roles?
Absolutely.
I agree.
I firmly agree with Matt Reeves' point on that. He talks about that on the commentary track for War.
Mm-hmm.
He literally says, he's just like, well, we're not doing anything to his performance. Andy Serkis is just one of the greatest living actors of his generation.
I agree.
And yeah, me too. Andy Serkis is incredible at what he does. It's weird that people can watch things like that. Like, because the movements for Gollum and Caesar are somewhat similar, except for he's trying to act like a monkey as Caesar, and he does it very effectively. But, like, to see how different he can kind of morph his voice, and, like, you can see his facial expressions through there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fantastic. Like,
he was born to play Caesar.
He was. Well, yeah, I'd say he's born to play Gollum.
He was born to play anything that they put him in, because that dude can pretty much do anything.
He's great as Ulysses Claw.
Sure. He's good as Snoke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he is great as Snoke.
Mm-hmm.
He's great, yeah. I can't wait for a Star Wars episode.
Yeah.
I got some things to talk about.
Episode 7, so...
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
We might just do 8, 9, 10.
Oh, all Star Wars?
Yeah.
Like prequels, originals,
sequels.
Okay.
Because I am moving.
That's
soon,
true, yeah.
Which is... I don't know what'll happen to this podcast, but...
it's dead.
No, it won't be dead. It'll just be way less frequent.
Dead.
Than... Shut up.
Dead in the water with several...
Why don't you just come live on my couch?
Revisitations. Eventually I will. I'm sure that's where I'm going to end up. So
10 years down the line, I have a wife and kid. You're still living
You
on my
remember that
couch.
offer you made me 10 years ago?
On our podcast.
I have an audio recording. I have proof.
The contract
I accept.
was stated.
I didn't deny it then. I'm saying yes now. Coming home, family.
Welcome home.
Hi, new family. As I sit at the dinner table.
Who's this dirty man, Daddy?
Somebody I hung out with 10 years ago. No. Yeah. We'll get to the fate of this podcast when we get there.
We'll figure it out, yeah.
We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
It's never going to be a death sentence.
No.
This can just go on forever, and we have ways to
bring it back, yeah.
Bring it back and revitalize and whatever. But, yeah, no, so you said that War is your favorite, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I think Dawn is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen Dawn a couple times. I've seen Rise a couple times. I've only seen War once.
Oh,
and that was in
okay.
the theater with you guys.
And you were hungover.
I was hungover,
Yeah,
but I
you-
still really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'd still say watch it again. Just
Yeah,
'cause
no.
it's fantastic.
I
Bad
know.
Ape. Bad Ape is fantastic.
He's what's the
Steve
guy's
Zahn.
Steve Zahn. Yeah, I
He's-
love Steve Zahn.
He's great. His
Yeah.
reactions to everything were fantastic.
Yeah.
Just like when the avalanche happens and everyone runs, he's like, no, oh no.
No, it's just I know. It's such a good trailer for a movie too.
Yes, the trailer was fantastic.
Excellent trailer.
That that whole thing is great. I don't understand. Like a lot of people hate that movie. There's a
War. I don't
yeah.
get it.
I don't understand that.
I
at
don't
all.
understand anyone who rates it lower than a 4 stars. At least.
And there are a lot of people who
there
do.
are a
yeah.
lot of people who do.
Yeah, no, and a lot of the complaints were like the title is misleading, but who
gives a
it's
shit?
Still a good movie.
It's a fucking movie.
I don't know. I mean, the title to the last. I mean, people already don't like The Last Jedi. Maybe that's a bad example. The title
let's
to
save our talk for the on The Last Jedi.
That's fair. I mean, a lot of titles aren't good,
Exactly.
or are misleading.
The Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Yes. Who was it?
Who is it? Who knows?
I couldn't tell you.
It was Judy.
Was it Judy? Was it Yoda?
It was Baby Yoda.
It was Baby Yoda. Who? No, he'd be alive. Yeah, you're right.
Baby Yoda?
Yeah, technically.
Maybe
He's-
it wasn't him then.
He's 50. Yeah, he would be alive. He'd be alive before Anakin.
Right.
He's
He was the
technically
real
older.
chosen one.
Well, there are theories that they were dyad. Anakin and Baby Yoda, yeah.
Oh. So Baby Yoda was the good one, and
It could have
Anakin was
been.
the bad one.
That honestly could have
I
been,
like
yeah.
that.
I kind of figured that they would both, like, the way I took that ending of, like, we'll get to Rise of Skywalker eventually, but real quick, like, that they were both not opposites, they were just part of, like, a connected thing, and they were both had, like, kind of neutral things about them.
Sure.
But I don't know. We'll get
Yeah.
to Star Wars.
Yeah. That's a topic for another day.
3 podcasts from now. Yeah, no, overall, you know what? The prequel Planet of the Apes movies, I'd give a solid 15 out of 10.
15 out of 10, huh?
I love those movies. I enjoy them so much.
I'd give it a solid, 13 out of 10.
Yeah, if we're going to be realistic.
Yeah, definitely.
No, like if I was going to have to, 9.5, you know?
Yeah,
But-
I'm there with you.
Yeah,
it's not perfect, but
No.
it's fucking great.
It's so fantastic and very, very, a lot of it's very heartfelt. And I care when the monkeys die. And I care when there's betrayals from the monkeys to monkeys. Like, Koba was heartbreaking.
Yes.
He was a very good character.
Yeah, no, and I was just watching because I didn't do my homework. I just did Spark Notes. I watched recaps on the first 2 movies because I couldn't find a recap for War. And I kind of forgot that Koba was a part of the first one.
Yeah.
And his character's really important.
It's actually like, if you remember how Jacobs, the head guy who ran Genesis Corporations,
Yes.
Koba kills him, but he and Koba die very similarly, which has always been interesting to me.
I don't think Koba kills him. I think it's the ape, the big silverback gorilla.
No, it is because what happens? The ape.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he kicks him. He
Yeah.
kicks
He kicks the helicopter over.
Yeah, you're right.
And he dies in this hunk of metal, falling and screaming no. And Koba is hanging off the edge at the ending of Dawn, and Caesar lifts him up and then drops him.
Yeah.
And Koba gets caught in part of the ending of a crane, and that is, he's stuck in a hunk of twisted metal, hitting everything on the way down, screaming no, just like Jacobs.
Oof.
It's really interesting how parallel those deaths are.
Poetic. if
Yeah,
you will.
it's very interesting, especially because Matt Reeves didn't make that first one.
Yeah, no.
He spent a lot of attention.
He didn't write Dawn either.
He didn't.
He
No?
only wrote War.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. That's probably why he didn't come back for the next one. I bet because people, a lot of people didn't like it.
That's sad,
Yeah.
man.
It sucks. I can't wait for his Batman movie.
Yeah, me too.
It's going
I
to
think
be
it's gonna
just as
fucking
polarizing, I guarantee it. But yeah, that's all I got to say. I love those movies.
Yeah, no. I would rewatch. I think it's one of the best trilogies of modern day.
It's the best prequel trilogy, without a doubt.
I'm trying to think of what other prequel trilogies.
Hobbits,
Oh yeah, blows Hobbits.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Star Wars and prequels and these share an interesting kind of similarity in structure.
Uh-huh.
Like, first one kind of sets and establishes characters. Second one starts a war. Now, we don't see that war in either of them. In the third one, it's the very end of that war.
Sure, yeah.
In both movies. It's a very interesting way to structure it.
Yeah.
But both of them do
It's
it.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
Think
weird,
about.
but yeah. Yeah, that's what I got. I'm probably going to rewatch the first one, the very original.
Yeah, no, I think I'll find a way to probably watch War again just 'cause it's so fucking good. Maybe that'll be the new thing. Because right now the only times I'm like watching stuff is when I'm hanging out with my
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Sure,
And,
War.
Yeah, I'll see if she's seen it, and then if not, then I'll be like, hey, let's watch these things.
Yeah, the
We
trilogy.
gotta watch like Eraserhead and Mulholland Drive first, though.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. Sorry, but my ape movies are more important than your David Lynch fish.
Ape strong,
Apes together
Lynch
strong.
bad.
Jacob, fight for Lynch!
Anyways, I guess we should move on to our
A fistful of
favorites.
thoughts.
favorite part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Fistful of thoughts.
Yeah, you all right?
I always try to come up with something, but I always end up with our favorite segment.
The rootin' tootin'-ist segment of the podcast.
I guess I'll go first just 'cause I'm not really going to talk about mine that much.
Oh, no?
Well, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I just don't have much to say about
That's fair. It is Dune.
it. So I watched Dune. So Dune is an interesting one. I don't know how I feel about it exactly, but I don't think it's good.
I've broken you. Last week you said you didn't think David Lynch could do no wrong. I win.
David, no, wrong, because David Lynch hates this movie too.
He still made it. He refused to do Return of the Jedi to make this movie.
It's probably a good thing you refuse to do Return
I would
of
have
the Jedi,
loved a
you know?
David Lynch Return of the Jedi. You telling me Dune was easier to make?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Dune was in development for like 4 years, he said, or something like
That's
that.
awful.
Yeah, which is terrible.
Yeah, fuck that.
So yeah, Dune, I don't know, man. I gave it like 2 stars, mostly 'cause I thought the first like 10, 15 minutes were cool, and then I thought the last 20 minutes were cool.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I kept nodding off in the last 45 minutes. I could not tell you what
I had
happens.
I had to watch it in segments just
Yeah.
'cause it was so.
It's not easy.
It's not an easy watch.
I do think the beginning is fairly good, though. I think there was a solid 40 minutes where I was on board.
Yeah,
and then
totally.
it started to peter off for me.
The thing is it's a really cool world. Like
It's interesting, yeah.
that they're trying to build, but I think it's just presented in such like a monotone, and I hate to use the word boring way, but it
Yeah.
is boring.
I can't wait for the new one.
Yeah, it's Denis, right? Denis
Yep.
Villeneuve. Yeah, and he's one of my favorite directors working right now. So I think what he's going to do with it is going to be really great, because my favorite part about it was the lore stuff. The worst part easily was just like the dialogue, and just like the characters interacting was really boring.
Yeah.
And then like some of the action scenes were all right. Like them riding the worm was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I will
I
admit-
have ridden the worm.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And then the ending fight with Sting is pretty good too.
Yep.
But other than
I kind of
that,
remember that.
it's just like a meh movie.
It's
It
not-
could have
it's
been
not
so
fun.
good, but I don't know what happened really. Because I read some stuff with David, and he talks about how he's super disappointed in that movie, and he believes in his mind that he sold out making that movie.
Ah.
Yeah, like, and that's why he's gone back to making his bullshit that he did.
Should have made Star Wars.
I don't know, man.
I think he would have had more fun.
Who made Star Wars again?
It
wasn't
it wasn't
Kushner, right?
No, it wasn't Kushner. It was another guy, and I can never remember because George Lucas pretty much had
Made
creative
Return.
control over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wanted Kushner because Kushner would push back
Right.
against him, and he thought it would make a good thing creatively, which it did. And then I guess he was sick of that, so he's like, "I'm gonna hire a yes man."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I thought the costumes were pretty cool. The sets are pretty cool. I mean, it's fun to see Kyle
Yes.
at like 24, 25,
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. It's fun to see Big Ed. But David's little cameo is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. I don't really have any other thoughts on that. Do you have anything you want to talk about with Dune?
I like the weird shield special effects. It's very of its time.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting. It's a real slog. It's real boring. It's not interesting at all, and I'm glad you don't like it, because I think that would have ended our friendship if you were just like, Dune is a masterpiece.
Dune is so good. 5 stars. Best Lynch movie ever made.
Just find him and marry him at that point. I'm sure he'll
No,
take
he's
you.
on his 4th wife.
Is he really?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I was seeing some stuff, and he does his weather reports, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I saw a screenshot for one of them on Twitter, and he's like, happy Bastille Day to all my French brothers and sisters, and happy birthday to my 2nd wife. Like, he stays in I was reading another interview where he's someone's asking, so this is you're marrying someone for, this is like your 3rd wife, right? And he's like, yes. And he's like, is she an actress? Does she work on something? Yes, she worked on Inland Empire.
Oh.
And he's like, wow, yeah, so you marry a lot. And he's like, yes, it's great.
That sounds like
and
David
apparently on like in his biography, I guess it would be Lynch on Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
All of his ex-wives contributed to it, and none of them have anything bad to say about him.
Why did he get divorced? You think?
I don't know. It's probably just a thing like an unstimulation thing.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like, I don't know. It's not.
No, I bet he did weird shit.
The fire isn't being lit for me anymore,
Mm.
and I'm diving too much into myself. Maybe we should end it.
No, I bet they woke up and he was like doing kabuki theater in the living room at 2 a.m.
I wholeheartedly believe that Lynch is like one of the best men. Like, probably one of the best lovers out there. I can't picture Lynch having sex.
No.
But
the faces he would make.
Oh yeah. I don't even want to do his noises. But no, I don't know. Lynch is a sexless being to me, even though he has so much sex in his movies.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like an alien observing our culture.
Thinking, this is what sex is?
That explains a lot of the sex scenes in his movies.
Yeah. I don't know, yeah. Dune, see it if you like Lynch, and then never watch it again.
I wouldn't even recommend that.
I think you should to check off a movie in his filmography, but
yeah, no. If you're running down the line,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
if you're trying to check boxes, go for it. If I don't know,
I don't think
you
there's
read
anything.
the book, I don't think you should watch it because the book it probably does nothing for you.
The book's really detailed, apparently, and there's like 8 books in there.
Yeah, because there is like time jumps in Dune. There's like 2 or 3 time jumps.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think they crammed a lot of story into one thing, and that's always too much.
Yeah. What did you watch?
I watched Under the Silver Lake.
Ah.
I very much enjoyed this movie.
Nice.
It was a really weird ride.
Yeah.
The entire way through. Very strange. I loved it though. I loved the mystery, even though it was everything he found was not mundane, but had something to do with something mundane.
Yeah.
Like there's in real life, finding out that like, oh, that has the same number as my Nintendo Power magazine.
Yeah.
It means
it's
going to
nothing.
be a coincidence. Yeah. And that's the point of the movie.
Yes.
Like for a long part of it. It's really long, but I didn't feel that long, which was great.
No, yeah. When I first saw the movie, I thought to myself, this is a long movie. It doesn't feel long, and I don't think I would cut anything from it.
No, I don't think so either. It's great. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, like the multiple scenes of different women barking at him.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Well, the dog killer.
Well, yes.
Throughout the whole thing.
Who do you think the dog killer is?
I don't think there is one.
I think it's pretty obvious it's him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, I think it was hype started by the zine.
Ah.
I don't think there is one.
Okay.
I think people just heard about it and somebody wrote graffiti on a few places.
Beware the dog.
Yeah. There are missing dog posters, but there would be in a city.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
But there's a lot of them.
True. I could be wrong, but
don't they find carcasses?
Only in his dreams.
That dream sequence
Yeah.
is so sick, right?
Yeah, it's
Where it just
really
like
crazy.
rips apart really
Yeah.
quick.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. So there is precedent to say that he might be.
Yeah, I think
But-
I've seen like interpretation videos where they like point to these facts that this is why he's the dog killer.
But I also like.
I see what you're saying though.
Yeah, I don't think there is one. I think it was hype started by the zine, and eventually because people stopped talking about it by the end of the movie, it stops being a thing.
Yeah,
And you see that same because part of the movie opens where you see the opposite, like Beware the Dog Killer. You see it from the inside of the building.
Uh-huh.
You see that same shot again. It's a little worn out, but she's clearly given up trying to clean it.
Sure.
But that's when I'm like, oh yeah, the dog killer. I remembered again,
Yeah.
and that's why I thought it was just hype. I don't think it was real. I think it was also like motivation in his mind, especially because he has a lot of things to do with dogs throughout the thing. Like his whole ex has a story about a dog.
Right.
Like he's always nice to dogs in case he sees them because his ex had a dog and things like that. Yeah. But yeah, no, he could be the.
What do you
the
think
dog
about
killer.
that whole Beware the God Killer thing?
That theory?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it would be Beware the God Rilker. Yeah. I don't. That I think is.
I think it's just a visual thing, honestly.
I think it's what the director wants you to get into the rabbit hole of, because just jumping into something that means nothing is the entire point of the movie.
Exactly,
you
yeah.
know.
I think this movie is literally just a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And it kind of leads to nothing.
Well, it's a rabbit hole with, I think, a satisfying twist.
What do you mean? Like what
What's
way?
going on? Like why she's missing and
Oh,
where
sure.
she is.
It's like some weird rich cult bullshit.
No, it felt like they were taking a lot of shots at Scientology.
Oh yeah,
you know,
100%.
and the idea that you guys they become gods.
Yeah.
And like or they cross into a different plane if they
Something
spent
like that.
6 months.
Did you notice how when he first got through the tunnels and he came to that big room, it was the room from 2001?
No, that's
yeah,
crazy.
It was literally styled like the room from
That's
2001.
great. I love that.
Yeah.
I did not notice that. Oh, wait, like that weird one?
Yeah.
Like at the end when the guy just stands up and he's reading the book, like in that.
I don't know about that one, but when he is hanging out at the monument on near the planetarium or whatever it's called,
Yeah.
like the big thing, and the hobo king or whatever finds him and like leads him to a place, and he's just like,
Yeah.
where are we going? And
Yeah, and he goes into the.
he goes through the tunnels, climbs through, and then he comes into this big open room that's decorated, and there's plastic shit.
I know
over
which room you're talking about from that. Which room is it in 2001?
at the very end.
Okay, it is
yeah,
that room. Okay.
Yeah, when he's old and then young.
Yes.
Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah, that's. Oh boy, that. Yeah.
I mean, who knows what it means, but
Kubrick did.
yeah.
And then he won't tell
No,
you.
I mean in Under the Silver Lake.
Oh, it means nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's another.
It's an homage.
Exactly. It's another make you look farther into it.
Yeah.
And no, great twist.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how like when he looked at the he finally got to talk to her through a laptop, and he's just like, I've been looking for you, and she's like, why? We just met once.
I know.
But I also like that she was taken aback and seemed flattered by that.
Yeah.
Because because they were all prostitutes.
Yep.
And I think she probably did this because she felt that nobody would care if she left anyway.
Yeah.
So finding that out, because she did cry when he talked to her,
Yeah.
that was probably like, oh, somebody does care. But here I am.
Yeah, she's stuck.
And she was accepting of that. She's like,
There's literally no way for them to get out.
yeah,
right?
this is it's blown up.
Yeah.
All the ways that they could have are gone.
That's so fucked.
Yep. And their phone only receives incoming calls because they've had problems with people trying to escape in the past.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's messed up. And yeah, in the end, nothing happens because what is he gonna do?
Exactly.
He's
just some guy.
Exactly.
Some
yeah.
fucking stoner that
Yeah.
that lives in an apartment. I think it's paid for by his mom
Who
or something like that.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. It's not paid for anyone.
Oh, right, yeah.
There's a huge
The
plot
entire
thing.
time he's just like, what was with that one moment where he's in his he gets like one day to be evicted, and then someone like crawls. Oh, the woman with the bird head
Yeah.
tries to come kill him.
Yeah.
What was with that?
Dude, she killed another person who was on the trail.
But is it real?
Because somebody died because of it. There was footage of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, he found footage of the woman in the bird hat.
He
the owl
found
hood.
footage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could. But I believe it was part of something. Like I think somebody was with him. I could be
yeah.
wrong about that, but
I don't know, because a lot of that movie I feel like comes down to because we're seeing it through his point of view.
yeah,
So I feel like a lot of the stuff could be unreliable narrator stuff.
fair.
Yeah, and that part always confused me with the naked bird lady. Like, why is she doing shit?
Owl's kiss.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but that's why I think it's real, because the symbol was real. It was a real symbol for this like society, and they believed in it, and they left it there for a reason.
So
That's
she
why I
just
think
does
she's
her
real.
thing.
I think they send her to kill people who are on the trail. Yeah,
All right.
but yeah, half the movie could be in his head.
Yeah.
For all we know. Yeah.
I really like the part where him and is it Topher Grace, his buddy?
Yeah.
Him and Topher Grace are using the drone, and they're drinking beer, and they're like, "Oh, let's go spy on these sexy models." And then it
I
like
hated
zooms
that.
in on her. She's doing her thing, getting undressed, like looking sexy, and then she just starts crying.
Yeah.
And they're just like, "Oh."
Well, no. Our main character is like, oh. And then he leaves. And Topher Grace may go, oh, but he keeps drinking his beer and watching
Well,
it.
yeah, but they both realize like this isn't good.
Yeah, but Topher Grace
Topher
doesn't
Grace
change it.
doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't
but
care. He
He
just
realizes it's not his fantasy of seeing like some sexy
Yeah.
woman, and then she's gonna like, I don't know, do something in front of him or
Yeah.
something.
it's that was. I mean, it was great for the movie, but it did what it was supposed to. It put a bad taste in my mouth. No, overall, I really enjoyed that movie. I'd give that a solid 9.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's a wild ride.
I
but
think you might like it a little bit more than me. Then.
yeah, I had a weird time.
I think my favorite scene is easily the songwriter scene.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's so fucking crazy.
It's so weird. It's great.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Uh-huh.
That idea that one person wrote every hit that you've ever heard over the last
And he's
100
just playing
years.
them while he's talking to him, and
Yeah, and straight up
Ooh.
saying like everything you've heard was written on this piano before it was put to electric guitar,
he
before it
starts
was sung.
playing on the piano, and you're just like, what the fuck is
It's
happening?
crazy. Yeah.
His Andrew Garfield's Andrew Garfield's so good in this
He's great.
movie.
Yeah.
And like his expressions throughout the whole movie are so good.
It's a lot of fun.
But yeah, no, that movie's a fucking wild ride. I always attribute it to a college kid. You at a party and you're stuck talking to a college kid who's on acid, talking to you about his favorite conspiracies.
Oh.
Or like it doesn't really matter,
No.
but like he's just like pontificating at you and you can't do anything about it.
Please stop.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, no. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. That's all I got to say about it.
All right, cool. Yeah, no. Wow, this is kind of a quick one.
This is a quick one. Yeah.
I liked it though. What are you going to do for this week?
God, I'm going to play Ghost of Tsushima as soon as it's finished installing. It pulled some bullshit on me.
Yeah.
I realized with that game, because I got to play the intro, you can get screwed out of any of the pre-order stuff, or at least one of them if you just don't pay attention.
Really?
Because at the beginning of the intro, like there's a point where you're running from something, and you get to a section with 4 horses. One of them is the pre-order horse.
Okay.
But if you don't realize that and you just press X on one of them, there is a little prompt saying like this is your horse for the rest of the game.
Oh shit.
So if somebody was trying to get through it quick and didn't realize that it was there, they could have just been stuck without it.
Oh no. So I'm guessing the pre-order horse has better stats.
I have no idea. I haven't gotten to the point where I can find that out. But
you didn't Google it or see what the pre-order bonuses are?
no, once it was like, okay, you played the intro, we have to install the rest of the game. I
Yeah.
was just like, I took a break. But
Sure.
I would imagine it does because you get like there's a new sword and armor
Very cool.
out of it. Yeah. So I'm very excited. I can't wait to get home, but I'm stuck here for the next like 6 hours.
You're stuck here for a while.
Yeah. But hopefully it'll be done installing by then.
Yeah.
I bet you I'm gonna get home. It's like 3 hours left.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like,
it's like just enough for you to be like, I can't stay up that
yeah.
late.
And I'm gonna be like, but Ghost of Tsushima. I'm probably gonna rewatch the original Planet of the Apes.
Nice.
I'm gonna go through the Ip Man movies to like watch them all because I've only seen the first one. Which I love.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I love the beginning of it is like very colorful, and like the combat and and all the action in the beginning of the movie is very Mortal Kombat like.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to set up like make you feel like this is almost fantastical. But then when war comes, it's really bleak,
Yeah.
and it just hits you harder because the original. It just seemed like the perfect like small town civilization kind of thing. Very well done,
Mm-hmm.
and the action's great, and Donnie Yen's always fantastic.
Yeah.
Where do you? Oh yeah, we have to give each other recommendations.
We'll do it after
Yeah,
we
okay.
do our days.
What is your week gonna be like?
My week is so right after we finish this, we are having our friends come over
Mm-hmm.
to my place, and we are playing probably a really important session.
Oh, I keep forgetting exactly what we're supposed to. It's about to be a big
Star
fight.
Wars
Yeah.
D&D. Basically, a giant light just shined down from the sky,
It's the
and
ending of a Marvel movie.
and everyone's screaming. Yes, exactly. It's the ending of a Marvel.
Somebody has an Infinity Stone.
Then tomorrow I'm going to the beach, which should be fun. Then I probably will be showing my girlfriend a bunch of new movies that I got.
Nice.
Like all the Criterion movies I got. I'm really excited to watch Eraserhead again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to watch Mulholland Drive again. Because those are two of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, they're good ones.
I'm excited to. I really want to go to Barnes and Noble. There's no Barnes and Nobles around us.
No, we'd have to go a long way.
Yeah, we'd have to like cross the state line to get to one, which fucking sucks.
We still have time.
I mean,
Maybe
yeah,
one day.
it ends August 2nd.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll be like, fuck it, let's just go.
Let's just go. Maybe. Yeah.
and-
Depends. It would. All the stars would need to align.
Yeah, exactly. The planets would need to align. The light would need to shine through all of them.
But you never know. I'd like to.
We never
That'd be
know.
great.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. A new thing that I can collect and spend all my money on.
I'm getting you into it.
Well,
Collect movies.
Yeah, no.
Forever.
Now I'm like, because you are a big physical media guy,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
whereas any type of movie you like, you'll buy, right?
Yeah.
Even if you don't love it, you'll buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not like that at all.
Yeah. I
I have to love a movie to buy it on physical.
I have to like something about it at least. Like I
Sure.
own Batman v Superman because I love the look of it.
Uh-huh.
I like just watching it and sitting in that world for a while. Like I enjoy that. Like I think it's very stylized and interesting.
Yeah.
And in the way it's shot, and like it's a very good looking movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, and that's why I own it. I'd like to just sit in that world every once in a while. But yeah, I have so many.
You have a lot.
I have movies I hate.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, Justice League is a good example.
Suicide Squad.
I don't hate Suicide Squad.
You're crazy.
Suicide Squad is actually a guilty pleasure movie for me.
All right, podcast over.
Forever.
Now
This is
it's
the last time. I can watch that movie. I enjoy it. I don't know why. I don't think it's good.
Oscar winning.
It is. It's an Oscar-winning movie.
But no, I buy movies that I love, but I'm also a big.
I refuse to buy movies I love.
I only buy movies I hate and like. But I'm a big collector when it comes to limited edition stuff or just like special edition things. Like I'm a big vinyl collector. So that's kind of transcended itself into Criterion now that I'm kind of really into Criterion and just owning movies and having the number on the spine and putting them all in order
Yeah.
just makes my brain happy.
That's why I have such a big collection of
Yeah.
movies, because I like doing that. But I also like that because we're going to be able to borrow Criterion movies from each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to have completely different ones. like completely different.
Yeah,
All mine are like Night of the Living Dead and old samurai movies.
Sure,
and
yeah. And I'll probably be getting like French New Wave
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Italian cinema and all that stuff.
Stuff like that. So between like Japanese and Italian movies, we got it covered.
But yeah, no, eventually I feel like maybe in like a year or 2 years our collections will start to look the same.
Yeah, you think so?
Because once I start getting the things I want to get, I'll probably start getting like the essentials. Like I have 7 Samurai on my list just because it's number 2. So it's like, come on, you got to have number 2
yeah.
of the Criterion. I have number 1, which is a movie called Grand Illusion, which is some...
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's some movie from the 50s.
We're going to watch that together.
No, yeah, I'd love to. It's like a war movie. But no, that's about it for me. Yeah, I'll be watching my movies and all that.
Okay.
So now it comes to our recommendations. Do you have one for me?
I do.
Okay.
The Vanishing of Sydney Hall.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
That is an A24 movie.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is. My dad showed it to me and
No,
I was
nice.
pretty gripped. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little like mystery of what happened to this person, this writer.
Okay.
And it goes through like a lot of his life from like teenagers to when he started to become famous to
Oh, wow.
where he is now.
The Vanishing of Sydney Hall.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. And I have 2 for you. Well, I'm trying to decide which one I should give you. I'm just trying to remember which one if you've seen either of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you Rushmore.
Okay.
Have you seen Rushmore?
I've not seen
Perfect.
Rushmore.
Okay.
What was
Give
the
you
other one?
Rushmore. Princess Mononoke.
Okay, I haven't seen it either.
Okay, I'll give you Rushmore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You're gonna
That's
watch that
Wes
Criterion.
Anderson, right?
Yes, it is his first big movie because he made Bottle Rocket, which was kind of a hit at the indie scene.
Okay.
And then he got picked up and he made Rushmore, which is his first time working with Jason Schwartzman and his first time working with Bill Murray.
Is it live action?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah,
It's
I'm in.
excellent.
Nice.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that's all from us. Do you have anything else to say?
No, that's it.
All right. We got new water bottles that are matching.
Ryan Johnson water bottles.
Knives Out Ryan Johnson water bottles. We're very happy about
It's
that.
Ryan Johnson who done it.
Duh. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening, David Lynch.
Fuck.